Welcome to this edition of Literary Reviews. Today, we are going to review the novel Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Before we talk about the story's plot, I will introduce you to the large cast of characters. The novel Anna Karenina is built around two central families and the characters who orbit them. First, I will introduce the Oblonsky and Sherbatsky families. Then, I will follow with the Karenin and Vronsky sphere. Prince Stepan Arkadyevich Oblonsky, known as Stiva, is Anna's brother and a Moscow aristocrat. The novel begins with his household in turmoil due to his infidelity, a situation that prefigures Anna's own later circumstances. Despite his faults, Stiva is a charming and affable character who helps his sister Anna and has a good relationship with her. He is also a friend of Konstantin Levin. Princess Daria Alexandrovna Oblonsky, known as Dolly, is Stiva's wife and Kitty's older sister. She is a sympathetic character who is described as the stable sister compared to Kitty. Dolly supports Anna and maintains a relationship with her, even visiting Anna and Vronsky in the country. She often lives with Kitty and Levin due to her husband's actions. Princess Katerina Alexandrovna Sherbatsky, known as Kitty, is the younger sister of Dolly Oblonsky and Natalie Lvov. Initially infatuated with Vronsky, she is heartbroken when he chooses Anna. Kitty's relationship with Anna is rocky due to this, but she later finds happiness in her marriage to Konstantin Levin. She is described as having a rocky relationship with Anna, but they are cordial when they meet after Kitty's marriage. Anna Arkadyevna Karenina is a beautiful and intelligent woman from St. Petersburg society. She is the wife of Alexei and the sister of Stiva. Anna's life is upended when she embarks on an affair with the dashing Count Vronsky, a relationship that ultimately leads to a tragic end. She is described as a beautiful person, both physically and in her appreciation for art and literature. But her pursuit of love and emotional honesty makes her an outcast. Alexei Alexandrovich Karenin is Anna's husband and a high-ranking government official in St. Petersburg. He is characterized as formal, duty-bound, and deeply concerned with social convention. Karenin presents a flawless facade to the world, but his life is described as somewhat empty, and he shows little tenderness toward Anna or their son, Seryozha. His primary motivation is often self-preservation. Sergei Alexeyevich Karenin, known as Seryozha, is Anna and Alexei Karenin's son. He is described as the center of Anna's life before her affair with Vronsky, and their separation is a source of great suffering for her. He loves and is loyal to his mother. Because AI doesn't permit the depiction of children, Seryozha's part is being played by Boingo the chimp. Alexei Kirillovich Vronsky is a wealthy and dashing military officer whose affair with Anna is a central part of the novel's plot. He is passionate and caring toward Anna, but is also disappointed when their relationship affects his career ambitions. Vronsky is a complex character with a dark spot at the core of his personality, and his early jilting of Kitty Sherbatskaya is a notable event. Countess Vronsky is Vronsky's mother and is a hypocritical society lady. She initially approves of his flirtation with Anna, but later becomes a fierce opponent of their scandalous relationship. Konstantin Dmitrich Levin, known as Kostya, is a wealthy landowner who prefers country life to the society of Moscow or St. Petersburg. He is a main character whose story runs parallel to Anna's. Levin is in love with Kitty Sherbatskaya from the beginning of the novel and eventually marries her after an initial rejection. His narrative arc includes his struggles with managing his estate and his personal journey toward accepting the Christian faith. Nikolai Dmitrich Levin is Konstantin Levin's estranged brother. His mistress, Maria, is a former prostitute who cares for him like a wife. The narrative focuses on two parallel plot lines: the tragic romance of Anna Karenina and Count Vronsky, and the spiritual and domestic journey of Konstantin Levin and Kitty Sherbatsky. Now, let's begin the story. The novel opens in Moscow amidst domestic chaos. Prince Stepan Stiva Oblonsky has been caught having an affair with his children's governess, devastating his wife, Dolly. Stiva's sister, Anna Arkadyevna Karenina, arrives from St. Petersburg to mediate. Her vibrant personality quickly smooths over the rift in the Oblonsky household.
My poor darling, I understand your anger and grief, and it was a meaningless act that doesn't diminish his love for you and your family together. Dolly, my dearest, you should pity him rather than hate him. Stiva is more pathetic than powerful.
Simultaneously, Konstantin Levin, a socially awkward but earnest landowner and old friend of Stiva, arrives in Moscow to propose to Dolly's younger sister, Kitty Sherbatsky. Kitty, however, is infatuated with the dashing cavalry officer Count Alexei Vronsky and expects his proposal at an upcoming ball. When Anna arrives at the Moscow train station, she is met by Stiva and Vronsky, who is there to meet his own mother. The encounter is marred when a railway worker is accidentally crushed by a train, an event Anna views as an evil omen. Konstantin Levin visits the Sherbatsky home and finds an opportunity to speak with Kitty alone.
I wanted to ask you. I came only for that. To be my wife.
It cannot be. Forgive me.
Kitty rejects Levin because she is infatuated with Count Vronsky and fully expects Vronsky to propose to her soon. Levin leaves devastated. At the grand ball, Kitty's hopes are shattered. Vronsky, captivated by Anna, ignores Kitty and dances openly with the married woman. Anna, realizing the disruption she is causing, flees back to St. Petersburg. Heartbroken over Vronsky and guilty about rejecting Levin, Kitty falls ill. Levin, equally crushed, retreats to his country estate. Vronsky follows Anna to St. Petersburg, pursuing her relentlessly.
What are you coming for?
You know that I have come to be where you are. I can't help it.
She eventually succumbs, and they begin a passionate, scandalous affair. Anna's husband, Alexei Karenina, a rigid, high-ranking government official, is initially more concerned with propriety than passion, warning Anna only about public appearances. The situation escalates when Anna becomes pregnant with Vronsky's child. During a steeplechase officers' race, Vronsky suffers a severe fall. Anna's public display of distress reveals the true nature of their relationship to Karenina and society. Karenina considers divorce, but is deterred by the potential scandal and religious implications.
Divorce at this stage would create a public scandal and give her exactly what she wants, freedom to be with Vronsky. Instead, it might be wiser to keep our marriage intact. That would punish her and preserve my reputation.
Anna nearly dies giving birth to a daughter. In the face of death, she begs for Karenina's forgiveness, which he grants, experiencing a spiritual awakening. Deeply ashamed by Karenina's magnanimity, Vronsky attempts suicide but survives. As Anna recovers, however, she finds she cannot bear Karenina's presence. Rejecting his forgiveness, she abandons her social standing and her beloved son, Seryoja, and flees to Europe with Vronsky and their newborn daughter.
I can't believe she left me and went with Annie. She only thinks about herself.
Meanwhile, Levin, having buried himself in farm management and philosophical turmoil, encounters Kitty again. Seeing she has matured and recovered, he proposes a second time, and she accepts. They marry and settle into a grounded, albeit occasionally difficult, life on his estate. Anna and Vronsky eventually return to Russia, finding themselves social pariahs. Anna, desperate, sneaks into her former home to see Seryoja on his birthday, a heart-wrenching goodbye. Denied a divorce by a now vindictive Karenina and unable to re-enter society, Anna and Vronsky retreat to his vast country estate. Their isolation proves toxic.
He will inevitably grow bored of me, but I can make sure he doesn't by being endlessly fascinating. I must be beautiful, I must be happy, I must be intelligent, so he doesn't miss the world I dragged him away from. He can go out, work, and have a life, but I have nothing but him. Though he can enter society and have a career, I'm confined to the estate. His outside interests are a threat to our love. I must keep him entertained and in love with me at every second, because if he looks away, he'll see that I'm a millstone around his neck, and I'll be left with absolutely nothing.
She becomes intensely jealous, paranoid, and begins using morphine to cope with her anxiety. She interprets Vronsky's any absence as proof that his love is waning. The tension culminates after a bitter quarrel. Vronsky leaves to visit his mother, and Anna's mind snaps. Desperate to punish him and end her suffering, she goes to the train station. As a freight train approaches, she throws herself under the wheels, recalling the worker who died when she first met Vronsky.
I think it was intentional.
In the aftermath, a devastated Vronsky volunteers for the Serbian War, effectively seeking his own death. The novel concludes with Levin. Despite the outwardly stable life he shares with Kitty and their new baby, he continues to struggle with existential questions. Ultimately, he experiences an epiphany, finding a quiet, sustaining faith in the inherent goodness of everyday life and family duty, standing in stark contrast to Anna's tragic end. Thank you for joining us with this edition of Literary Reviews.